Welcome to True Crime US. Today, we delve into the tragic story of Aréanah Preston, a 24-year-old police officer whose promising life was abruptly cut short by a senseless act of violence. Officer Preston was an unwavering advocate for her community, valiantly committed to serving and safeguarding her city. However, fate took an unimaginable turn one fateful night when Officer Preston found herself confronting a heartless gang, driven by a predatory urge to victimize the innocent.
I heard gunshots about 1:30 in the morning, and I froze, basically looked out, and I didn't see anything. I checked my phone, I didn't see anything.
Regrettably, this encounter resulted in the loss of Aréanah's life. Make sure to subscribe and activate notifications to stay up to date with the latest developments regarding this case, and other compelling narratives surrounding crime and the tireless pursuit of justice. Together, let us cultivate awareness and honor the memories of those whose lives were tragically taken from us far too soon. Born on May 10, 1998, in the very heart of Chicago, Illinois, she was the cherished daughter of Dion Moon and Terrence Moon. Aréanah completed her education at Morgan Park High School and eagerly ventured down the path of criminal justice at the esteemed University of Illinois at Chicago. As she blossomed into a young woman of determination and resilience, Aréanah also became an active member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority, Incorporated, beautifully embodying her unwavering commitment to leadership and service. This dedication to excellence would come to define her not only in her academic pursuits, but also in her career within the revered Chicago Police Department. Admired and respected by her colleagues, Aréanah earned a well-deserved reputation as a shining star within the police force. Her unyielding devotion and passion for her work were palpable to all who encountered her. A model of professionalism and integrity, Officer Preston consistently displayed an unwavering commitment to her duties, heralding her as a beacon of hope and justice within her community. Yet, tragically, the path of this remarkable young woman was entwined with those whose intentions were far from noble. On the fateful day of May 6, 2023, while fearlessly carrying out her responsibilities, Officer Preston's life was abruptly cut short. The course of Aréanah Preston's life was forever altered by four teenagers: Trevor Breland, Joseph Brooks, Jaquan Buchanan, and Jalen Frazier. The shocking incident unfolded late Friday night when Buchanan received a call from his girlfriend who needed money for a barbecue. Eager to assist, Buchanan, accompanied by his girlfriend and another female accomplice, went to pick up four gang members who joined the robbery. Driving around the city in search of potential targets, the gang had already committed several robberies before they spotted their next victim, Officer Preston. As they approached Officer Preston in the 900 block of East 46th Street, Buchanan abruptly brought the car to a halt. Four thugs armed with guns quickly exited the vehicle and proceeded to rob Officer Preston of her belongings. The stolen items included her Louis Vuitton belt, service weapon, credit cards, identification, and even her iPhone, which they compelled her to unlock before taking it away. The situation took a tragic turn when Officer Preston was shot multiple times in the chest and left for dead on her own front lawn. Unbeknownst to the perpetrators, her Apple Watch managed to alert the authorities of a possible car crash approximately 20 minutes after the shooting occurred. An arriving officer found Preston unconscious and bleeding out. Without hesitation, he swiftly placed her into his patrol car and raced towards a nearby hospital in the hopes of saving her life. However, the medical personnel at the hospital were unable to resuscitate her, and she was pronounced dead. Within minutes of committing this heinous crime, the four criminals made a swift getaway by stealing a red Kia Forte that had been parked on South Indiana Avenue in the 4700 block. Meanwhile, the two women who had accompanied them in the initial car took off in a separate vehicle. The stolen red Kia Forte, however, was later discovered abandoned and reduced to a charred shell in a residential neighborhood, hours after the incident occurred. In the aftermath of the murder, Buchanan, who is also known by his stage name Lil Munchie and aspired to be a rapper, and his girlfriend sought refuge by hailing an Uber. Their attempt at evading justice was short-lived, as the police swiftly surrounded the vehicle and took them into custody.
The odds just start screaming, I'm just an Uber driver. I don't know what's going on. All I saw like a minute after that was lights and police personnel jumping down from their cars, surrounding my car front and back with their guns pointed at my vehicle. I'm just in shock. I'm just wondering how I kind of found myself in this kind of situation.
As the day wore on, the pieces of evidence began to fall into place, leading to the arrest of the suspects. It was the culmination of mounting evidence that ultimately brought them down. Among the discoveries was the unearthing of credit cards belonging to one of their victims, found inside the white Dodge that the group had been using. But what truly sealed their fate was the arrogance of one of the suspects. 16-year-old Jalen Frazier, in a boastful display, called up a friend and proudly claimed responsibility for the shooting of Officer Aréanah Preston. "It was my work," Frazier reportedly revealed, before asking his friend if they had heard about the news regarding the cop. As the conversation unfolded, Frazier went on to implicate Brooks as the one who fired back at Preston, ultimately leading to her demise. Frazier, however, admitted to remaining in the car while the rest of the group, including Breland and Buchanan, got out to rob Preston. It was Brooks who pulled the trigger, ending Preston's life. Fearing the consequences of Frazier's horrifying revelation, the friend promptly went to the police. To add another deeply disturbing layer to this shocking chain of events, it was discovered that one of the suspects, Lil Munchie, had actually created a rap song titled Switches that glorified firearms and brazenly showcased his involvement in armed robberies and violence against his enemies. The song's music video has now been made private, denying the public access to its content. Moreover, it should be highlighted that all 4 individuals involved have criminal records. Brooks, for instance, has previously been convicted of armed robbery, and carjacking, with incidents dating back to 2019. Buchanan, too, has pending charges for aggravated vehicular hijacking from 2021 and is currently on juvenile probation for a separate robbery offense. Breland, on the other hand, is presently on adult probation for aggravated unlawful use of a weapon and also has a prior conviction for aggravated battery during his time as a juvenile. As for Frazier, he is currently awaiting trial for an armed robbery case for which he spent time in the juvenile detention center.
Each of the 4 suspects in Officer Aréanah Preston's murder has a lengthy criminal history. Their records show a pattern of committing new crimes while on probation. The most serious sentence, Joseph Brooks, 18. He's been arrested 9 times since 2019. Charges involve a stolen car, theft, and armed robbery. Last September, he was sent to juvenile detention for a carjacking he committed while on probation and was classified as a violent juvenile offender. Sources tell the CBS 2 investigators this case was closed just a few weeks before Officer Preston's murder. Jaquan Buchanan, also 18, was arrested in 2019 for robbery. While on probation, he was arrested again for carjacking. Last November, a juvenile arrest warrant was issued related to both of those crimes. Then there's 19-year-old Breland, who has faced multiple charges as an adult and a juvenile. He too was on probation at the time of the murder. His record dates back to 2018 and includes attacking a teacher and pushing his mother down the stairs. He's never been given more than probation or supervision. The youngest suspect, Jalen Frazier, is 16. His first arrest in 2019 was at 13. He served 4 years probation. While on probation for robbery, he was arrested multiple times for weapons offenses, armed robbery, and having a stolen car. He too spent time in juvenile detention.
The 4 suspects made their court appearance and were ultimately denied bond, indicative of the grave nature of the charges against them. A substantial contingent of Chicago police officers convened at the Layton Criminal Courthouse to show their unwavering support for Officer Aréanah Preston's grieving family. This gathering marked the first time that these law enforcement officers had the opportunity to witness the 4 teenagers who stand accused of the murder of the 24-year-old officer.
19-year-old Breland and Joseph Brooks, 18-year-old Jaquan Buchanan, and 16-year-old Jalen Frazier, who's being charged as an adult, are charged with first-degree murder, as well as multiple counts of armed robbery, arson, burglary, possession of a stolen vehicle, and unlawful use of a weapon. All 4 are being held without bond. Prosecutors say they shot and robbed Officer Preston as she was returning home from her shift earlier this month, and her murder came at the end of a crime spree carried out by the suspects.
During the courtroom proceedings, a sentiment of compassion emerged for a particular group of individuals, the boys themselves. It was evident that they had lacked proper guidance and the knowledge of being loved.
But as I sat in that courtroom today, the people I really felt sorry for was those boys. I felt sorry for them because nobody obviously didn't pour into them. Nobody told them that they were loved.
The mayor expressed gratitude for the relentless efforts of law enforcement officers, as their hard work has successfully removed dangerous repeat offenders from the streets of our city. The memory of Officer Aréanah Preston will forever be associated with her unwavering dedication to justice and her profound commitment to serving our community.
Her dedication to justice and her commitment to serving this city will live forever. God, thank you for the gift of Aréanah. God, thank you for the gift of life.
In the wake of an enduring tragedy, the community remains united in grief over the untimely loss of a devoted officer, Officer Preston, whose positive influence touched countless lives. As investigations unfold and the legal process advances, the collective sorrow of the community deepens.
Her kindness to her fellow classmates, to her teachers. Her desire to go out in the world and make it better, because she did.
If I can say anything to anybody from this, is be like Aréanah.
I appreciate all the love and support that you guys are giving my family and my daughter, and we definitely got to make some changes around here.
During the final farewell to Officer Preston, her loved ones came together to express their love and admiration for her.
And we love you, Ari. Thank you for shining your light. Thank you for just being an example and for being such an amazing person. And just watch over us.
The funeral service for Officer Aréanah Preston will commence at 10 a.m. on Wednesday at Trinity United Church of Christ, located at 400 West 95th Street. Family, friends, and fellow officers gathered to honor and remember Officer Preston during her funeral on Wednesday. They praised her unwavering dedication to the city and her profession, acknowledging that she made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty.
Officer Preston was able to get off a couple of rounds. She fought. She was a fighter. She fought to be a good person. She fought to do things right. She fought to help this community. She gave her all.
Officer Preston's untimely departure has left an indelible mark on her family, friends, and the community she so dutifully served. Her legacy is one of service, kindness, and an unyielding devotion to her calling. Even in the face of danger, her courageous actions during the fatal encounter stand as a testament to her unwavering commitment to safeguarding others.
The one thing I can say is that I know that we gave our all, and my baby is in a better place, and we're gonna get through this.
To Officer Preston's friends and family, I extend my sincerest condolences. The burden of this loss is a heavy one to bear, and I offer my heartfelt apologies that you must endure such pain. May the healing process continue, and may you ultimately find the solace and peace you deserve. Thank you for joining us, and I look forward to our next encounter.